Today we're a group of firefighters, active and retired, who go out with the assistance of organized labor, and we build these ramps for people. We're going to build a ramp in a day. We're not going to start it and then leave that person out there looking out the window saying, when are they coming back? It's a start to finish. If it takes us half a day or a full day, rain or shine, we're going to make sure that that ramp's completed before we go home.
Unfortunately, we're the only chapter that does this work. I mean, we're happy to do it. We're happy to travel to help people out.
There's a core of maybe 15 to 18, but in reality, it's probably 100 to 200 that have been there in one ramp or another.
People that show up these ramps, they don't have many skills. Some of them are very skilled. Others don't. They couldn't drive a nail in warm butter. It's a coordinated effort. Everybody has a job to do, a task to do. Nobody stands around with their hands in their pockets. Everybody's doing something.
We've done 64 plus ramps, so that's 64 days off that we give up, and that's okay.
The fire service is all about commitment. If you say you're going to be there, you're there. You do what you say you're going to do.
But we've worked in snowstorms and rain and grueling heat.
10 below zero when we got there that morning. The lumber pile was frozen solid. It was a block of solid wood.
They run the gamut. I mean, you go from the elderly person that's just getting frail and can't get out of their house to the young child who has a disability that's unable to get out. Or we had a teenager that was a victim of gang violence.
Every one of these persons is actually trapped in their home. They're alive, they have services come to them, but they can't on their own, or even with help of their own family, to get in and out of their own house.
Madeline, we found out at 18 weeks of life, was born with something they call spina bifida, and Madeline happened to have the worst height. As a result, walking for her in the future is going to be only maybe short distances.
And it's been really a struggle getting any kind of support, especially with the economy in the turmoil it's in right now. I think Madeline was probably born at one of the worst times economically.
Before you know it, there's 26 firefighters here, and we were just amazed at how quickly, efficiently they worked, how much fun they were having while they were doing it.
I brought Madeline out and kept going out and in so that she'd see them and know that they were building this for her, and she was excited, and we had her in her chair. And they were such softies with Madeline. They were such hams, and laughing with her and joking with her, and she was talking to them, and they were a bunch of sweet guys, sweet guys.
A hardened group of firefighters. There wasn't a dry eye in the group. Some guys will say, "Oh, I got some sawdust in my eye. I'm just trying to get it out."
You could be the hardest person on this planet, and you see a little kid come down in a wheelchair on one of these ramps, and
Good job. Whoa, there she goes.
It means so much when you see that door open and that woman comes down the ramp, or the mother is pushing that small child down the ramp. It brings tears to your eyes, and you walk out of there like, can we go do another one today?
They're heroes every day in their jobs of what they're doing. And in Madeline's case, there's a lot of people that are going to be shutting doors to Madeline life, and they just came and did their thing and opened things up for her.
I'd say once you get involved, you become a ramp program junkie. You can't really give it up. It's been a real joy for me to be involved in that ramp program from its conception until, and I'll be doing that until I need a ramp myself.
To give up a Saturday afternoon in December, it's hard for anybody, because there's a lot going on around the holidays. I don't think words can say it. It's just really, really touching that 26 men would take time out of their day in such a busy, cold time of the year and just build a ramp for a little girl. I mean, it's touching. Yeah, words can't express how grateful we are.
So the first trip is always memorable. It's like kissing the first girl, because that was just so eye-opening to see how poorly some people have to suffer from medical conditions that we can easily treat. And I thought, I want to do this more. So I got involved with Certicor, which is really a grassroots organization based in Pittsburgh. Once we have all the ducts lined, it's a major undertaking because we take all the equipment with us from A to Z, every single gauze. Once we get there, the first day is screening the patients, and that can be anywhere from 100 to 200 patients. And then from there, we select patients that are candidates for surgery. My background is plastic and reconstructive surgery, which covers reconstruction from head to toe. My subspecialty is actually hand surgery. So depending on the trip, I'll do reconstructive surgery of the body, such as cleft lips and palates and burns. And then there are some trips all I do is hand surgery. We're not just making them look better, we're making them more functional. We're making them more functional so that they can do their normal activities, they can earn a living. For example, hand surgery, they're very dependent on their hands because a lot of these people don't have the means to survive otherwise. In terms of the plastics cases, you're making them more functional in society because they're more acceptable and they feel better about themselves.
The first images that I saw from a trip that he'd made to Africa and looking at the deformities that he was able to help correct. It was a group of a couple of hundred physicians there, and just the reactions from the people there, it was clear this was a special thing and a special person.
Medicine in other countries is really quite different, and I couldn't even have imagined how different until I was there. Here in the States, people complain if they don't have a single room, or if the food is not warm. In other countries, they don't have pharmacies in the hospital. They don't have enough nurses or skilled nurses to take care of their family members, so the parents take care of their own children.
His example is truly remarkable. For the first time in my career, he's got me going to a medical mission to Guatemala this year, which I'm very much looking forward to. Without, maybe that example and his own direction, I think there are a number of us who may not have stepped forward.
I always encourage all the residents and all the students to look beyond the borders of the States, to realize just how fortunate they are, and to be given the opportunity to be educated and to be trained, and to take that beyond the confines of a normal daily life of a doctor and really make an impact on someone else who doesn't have the opportunity. I'm still kind of shocked that I was given this award, or being recognized actually. I'm just doing what I'm trained to do. I'm just doing it in another country. We're correcting their deformities, we're making them more functional, but I always say at the end of the trip, I'm the one who benefited from the trip.
They're definitely cocky. They're not quite as cocky after they see what some of the consequences are.
I spent 10 years in refugee camp, and then through God's grace, I got reset up here in the United States.